Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a topic that, let's be honest, touches almost all of us in some way: anxiety. But we're not going to treat it like some scary clinical thing. We're just going to talk about it as a very real, very human experience. So let's get into it. So I want you to think about this for a second. Have you ever had that feeling, that tight little knot of worry deep in your stomach that just hangs around? No matter what you do, you just can't seem to shake it. If that sounds familiar at all, the most important thing to know is you are so far from being alone. It's an incredibly common feeling. So today, we're going to dig in and really talk about what's actually happening when that feeling takes over. Okay, first things first, let's build a foundation here. What are we even talking about when we say anxiety? And how is it any different from the everyday stress that, we all deal with? Well, at its core, anxiety isn't actually a bad thing. Strange, right? It's really a survival tool. Think of it like your body's own personal alarm system. It's designed to keep you safe and alert when it senses some kind of danger, whether that threat is real or just something you're worried might happen.
So the problem isn't the alarm itself. The problem starts when that alarm gets a little glitchy. When it gets stuck in the on position and just refuses to turn off, even after the danger is gone. That's when you get that feeling of being on high alert all the time, and that's what starts to really mess with your daily life.
And when that alarm is just constantly blaring, it can show up in a few different ways. For some, it's a constant low hum of worry about pretty much everything. That's often called generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. For others, it's way more specific, like intense social anxiety or very particular phobias. So knowing what it is step one. But recognizing it in yourself, that's the real key. So let's break down the signs, how anxiety actually shows up in your body, in your mind, and in the things you do. And let's be clear, this is not just in your head. The physical side of anxiety is incredibly real. That racing heart, that tightness in your chest, the shaking, feeling exhausted because you can't sleep, those are real physical responses. Your body is being flooded with stress hormones and it's reacting. And while all that is happening in your body, your mind is on its own roller coaster. It's that nonstop loop of what-if questions, right? That feeling of being jumpy and on edge all the time. It can make it almost impossible to concentrate, and honestly, it just feels completely overwhelming. So, when you're feeling all that on the inside, it naturally starts to change what you do on the outside. You might start avoiding places or people because they trigger that feeling. You might feel restless, like you can't sit still, or find yourself snapping at people you love. Heck, even small, everyday decisions can suddenly feel impossible to make. Okay, that might all sound a bit heavy, but here's where we pivot. This is the important part. What can we actually do about it? Let's get into some real actionable steps you can start taking to get a handle on these feelings. The moment you feel that wave of anxiety starting to build, here are 3 things you can do right away. First, just notice it. Don't fight it, don't judge it. Just say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling anxious. Second, ground your body. A few slow, deep breaths can work wonders. And third, and this one's huge, say it out loud to someone you trust. It's amazing how much power that can take away from the feeling. This chart lays it out so perfectly. On the left, we've got the short-term fixes that we sometimes turn to, but they usually make things worse in the long run. And on the right, these are the habits that actually build up your resilience. Things like regular exercise literally help your body process stress hormones. And cutting back on caffeine is a big one, because caffeine is a stimulant that can actually mimic the physical feelings of anxiety, making everything feel worse. Now, those healthy habits are your foundation. They're crucial, but sometimes we need more specialized tools. And deciding to get professional support isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength. So let's explore just one of the many therapeutic options out there, just to give you an idea of what they're like. All right, so you've probably heard the term hypnotherapy before, and maybe it brings up some weird images from movies. But what is it really? Let's clear that up right now. So forget the swinging pocket watches, it's not mind control. Clinical hypnotherapy is simply a guided process where a trained professional helps you get into a state of deep, focused relaxation. And in that calm state, your mind is much more open to exploring and even changing the subconscious thought patterns that are fueling the anxiety. So how does that actually help? Well, it can directly calm your nervous system, which reduces that physical tension we talked about. It can help you get to the root of those negative thought loops and start to reframe them. And it's often used right alongside other proven therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, to build really practical new coping skills. And here's a really, really important point. Whatever path you decide to explore, it is absolutely essential that you find a qualified, certified professional. These therapies should be seen as powerful tools in your overall wellness plan, working together with your doctor or psychologist. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So as we start to wrap up, let's just boil everything down to the most important things to remember for your own path forward. If you only take away a few things today, let it be these. First, anxiety is a signal from your body, not a personal weakness. Second, you have the power to learn and recognize your own signs. Third, those small daily healthy habits, they make a massive difference. And fourth, asking for help isn't giving up, it's getting smart and getting the right tools for the job. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. You can't address what you won't acknowledge. Just seeing your experience clearly, the physical, the emotional, the behavioral, and validating it for yourself is the single most important first step you can take on the path to feeling better. So I'll leave you with this question. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today, right now. Looking back at everything we talked about, what is one small, manageable thing you can do for yourself? Maybe it's a 5-minute walk. Maybe it's trading one coffee for a glass of water. Or maybe it's just pausing to take 3 slow, deep breaths. Your path forward starts right there with that single step.